Okay, so Linus Tech Tips just launched a video. Please stop wasting money on crappy dash cameras. And I want to react and educate on some of the things that actually took place in this video. So let's dive right in.
Is that regardless of the price, they all look pretty terrible. Even when I picked a winner 3 years ago, there were absolutely edge cases where it clearly fell short.
So yeah, 3 years ago, when Linus Tech Tips put out their video saying dash cameras were a waste of money. And I remember seeing that and going, holy smokes. I was blown away. I mean, I have a whole business where we supply and install dash cameras. I mean, Thinkware, I mean, they got nailed. But you know what? The industry moved forward very quickly. I mean, I think he released that video in October, and January, Viofo gave me an A139 Pro, which had HDR and the new Sony Starvis 2 IMX678 image sensor. And all of a sudden, we were picking up license plates at night. And I can tell you, every other dashcam manufacturer was chasing. Shortly after that, the Vantrue N4 Pro came out, and I just continuously was getting new and newer dash cams. And all I wanted to do was test these new dash cams with the new image sensors. And today, 3 years later, I'm pushing manufacturers to refine it. Now we're starting to see things like motion blur, which where a license plate was next to impossible to catch on oncoming traffic. And now we're starting to catch license plates in some of these scenarios a lot more frequently. So, as much as he says dash cameras were a waste of money 3 years ago, the industry has come a long way very quick.
We bought today's best-selling and most highly reviewed dash cams to see if finally I can be satisfied. Are there features other than image quality that'll make a difference to our top choice? Do you basically get what you pay for? Or are there some diamonds in the rough?
I find this very funny, like where they got some of these dash cameras, because some of these brands I've even heard of before. And I find that funny because we literally get emailed for inquiries for getting dash cameras installed of all sorts of crazy names. And some of the names on here, never heard of before. So I find it very interesting that they're top sellers, but maybe they're top sellers in the United States. But because of this, we went and bought $1,300 in dash cameras off Amazon. Plus, we're testing a whole bunch of our own cameras and some cameras that manufacturers have supplied to us for testing. And I just want to list what we have coming up. We have this.
This is the GKU D600. This is the Pelsi P1 Pro. This is the Botslab G980H. This is the Red Tiger F7N Touch. This is the FitCam X 70mm A810S. This is the Rove R2 4K Dual Pro. This is the Vantrue N4 Pro S. This is the Vuroid S1 4K. This is the Viofo A329S. This is the Thinkware U3000 Pro. This is the Blackview Elite 10.
Okay, let's continue on.
And see if this trio of 4K cameras is worth the extra money. All of our next tier cameras boast a Sony Starvis 2 sensor. With that said, not all Starvis 2s are made equal.
So I just want to stop it right there. I find it very interesting that right here, he's showing the list of all the Sony Starvis 2 image sensors and the Sony Starvis sensors as well. And what I find very interesting is he lists that the Rove and this weird looking one, I don't even remember what it's called, James or something like that, that I've never heard of before, ever, in 6 years of doing dash cameras. They both have the IMX675 image sensor. And clear as day, on the Sony Starvis 2 sensor chart, it shows it's only a 2K image sensor. It isn't a 4K image sensor. But yet both dash cameras compare and say that they're an actual 4K image sensor. So they're already misleading you, which I don't like. The other thing is he's actually going to bring up how the Red Tiger, they can't get the specs.
Red Tiger wouldn't tell us, but it doesn't seem to be holding back their sales. The F7NP is the #3 bestseller on Amazon, with dual channel recording and a front camera that boasts up to 4K 30.
But you know what I find funny? We know where to look to find the specs, and I found it right here. It's using the IMX675 Sony Starvis 2 image sensor. All three of these dash cameras all claim to be 4K, and they're all using a 2K image sensor. Seems very misleading, and unfortunately, a lot of people are buying these cameras because they think they're a 4K image sensor. And I really think that's wrong. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. They get high reviews on Amazon, so people just keep buying them even though they're lying. Okay, let's move on to where they mounted all the dash cameras in this.
Mounted a little lower on the windshield, but for anyone who isn't running, maybe avoid the side of the windshield where we had ours, and you'll likely get even better results.
So yeah, there you have it. That's where they mounted all the cameras. They crammed 10 cameras on the windshield and even put dash cameras in completely wrong spots. And you have to understand, a lot of these cameras I really don't care for. I've installed some of these over the years, and they have very low video quality. Some of the cameras, like I said earlier, I've never even heard of. But I still believe that all the cameras should get a fair chance by being installed in an optimal location. And having the Viofo A119 Mini 2, which was still selected as one of his top, mounted nowhere near a proper installation location, isn't really a fair comparison, especially when all the manufacturers say it should be mounted in the center close to the rearview mirror, whether it be off to the right of the driver assistance housing or the left or underneath it. Typically, you want to stay in that main area, especially when you're mounting your front dash camera.
This is another Dashcam Talk recommendation that I just had to see for myself. $380 for a dashcam? It's loaded with features, though it's up to you whether those features are important.
Well, okay, so he's got the Thinkware U3000, and I understand that, he's reviewing it, but the U3000 Pro released literally around the same time he started producing this video. I just find it very hard to believe that Thinkware didn't send him a U3000 Pro that has HDR and better video quality. But here's the main thing. The Thinkware U3000 is not like it's not really recommended because it has the best video quality. It's recommended because it has the best parking mode dash camera period on the market. It does have good video quality, it just doesn't have great video quality at all at night. Unfortunately, at night they're really suffering in a couple areas, and I really hope that they can fix that and correct that. But they do have HDR now, so it does have some better quality. But it's just a shame that he's reviewing a U3000 that's literally end of life.
And I need to use their special snowflake power cable instead of standard USB.
I actually find this absolutely hilarious because if we look at the history of like dash cameras, at least as I know it, the first major dash cam brand that ever came to Canada was Blackview. That was like the first major dash camera, and then the other one after that was basically Thinkware. Those were like the big brands for me early on, working in car audio retail many years ago, and I gotta say that the funny thing is that's how these get hooked up. So like realistically, the USB-C thing is more new, but and all the ones that he picked are cheaper. Other than obviously Viofo is a higher end quality product, but most of the Korean brands like Thinkware, Viewroid, FineView, Blackview, oh man, I'm GNet, iRoad. They're pretty much all using a connector like this. And to be honest with you, as a technician, I prefer this connection. And the main reason why is because typically the dash cameras that use this connection allow you to control the low battery protection through the unit. When you use like a Viofo unit, as much as I love the video quality of the Viofo products, the low battery protection is actually built into the cable. And that cable typically gets hidden under the dash, which makes it very hard to adjust. So if there are little things that you want to change, especially low battery protection related, you can't actually adjust that at all. And these cables can. It also makes for a little bit of a cleaner installation compared to the USB-C style dash cameras. But I do understand why someone might want a USB-C. However, unfortunately, I think he's kind of giving the wrong information out, in my opinion, because even the entry-level Thinkware products also use the exact same connector. Let me know if you enjoyed this reaction video. I've never actually done one before, but I thought I'd give it a try. I wanted to make sure to get the correct information out. And as always, if you are looking to support us at all, check us out, safedrivesolutions.com, where we do professional dash camera installation in Greater Vancouver or Greater Toronto, and we supply dash cameras all across Canada. Thanks again.